Welcome to Triumphant Over Trauma, where resilience reigns and women rewrite their stories of victory after trauma. I'm Gina, your guide on this empowering journey. With a mission to help women overcome trauma, I'm here to inspire you to cultivate a positive mindset, embrace self-love, and find peace. Join me as we celebrate strength, reclaim power, and triumph over adversity together. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Triumphant Over Trauma. I'm Gina, your host and fellow traveler on this journey of healing and empowerment. Have you ever felt like you're constantly giving until there's nothing left for yourself? What if I told you that creating boundaries isn't just about saying no, but also about saying yes to your own well-being? Stay with me as we dive into the transformative power of courageous boundaries and how they can set you free. Boundaries were a foreign concept to me for a long time. I was so used to being the go-to person for everyone else, always putting their needs before my own. This constant giving led to burnout again and again, until one day I hit a breaking point. I remember looking in the mirror, feeling utterly exhausted and thinking, that's enough. I have to make a change and keep it in place. I began to realize that setting boundaries wasn't just about protecting my time and energy. It was about reclaiming my life. It was difficult at first. Saying no felt like a betrayal to those I cared about. But I knew that if I continued on the same path, I would have nothing left to give. So I started small. I began by setting limits on my availability and saying no to things that drained me. It was incredibly liberating. Creating boundaries was a gradual process for me. Initially, it felt uncomfortable and guilt-inducing. I was so conditioned to be the caretaker, the one who always said yes, that the idea of prioritizing myself felt selfish. But each time I set a boundary, I noticed a shift. I felt a little stronger, a little more in control of my life. Over time, these small changes accumulated into a profound transformation. The turning point came when I experienced burnout for what felt like the 100th time. I was depleted, overwhelmed, and unable to function effectively in any area of my life. That's when I had a serious conversation with myself. I realized that I had to set and enforce boundaries, not just for my well-being, but for my very survival. And so I did. I learned to say no when I needed to to prioritize my needs, and to protect my space from disrespect and negativity. Now, I no longer say yes when I really mean no. Disrespect is no longer acceptable in my life. I feel safe and protected because of the boundaries I've put into place. Boundaries have become a form of self-respect and self-love. They have allowed me to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. Creating boundaries can be incredibly beneficial on your healing journey. It allows you to protect your energy, prioritize your needs, and maintain a sense of control over your life. Here's some ways boundaries can support your healing process. Number 1, increased self-belief. Setting boundaries reinforces your belief in your worth and capabilities. It shows that you value yourself enough to protect your time and energy. Tip number 2, emotional safety. Boundaries create a safe space where you can heal and grow without the fear of being overwhelmed or taken advantage of. Tip number 3, improved relationships. When you set clear boundaries, it fosters respect and understanding in your relationship. People know what to expect from you and what you will not tolerate. Number 4, reduced stress. By limiting demands on your time and energy, boundaries help to reduce stress and prevent burnout. Number 5, enhanced well-being. Protecting your physical, emotional, and mental health through boundaries leads to a greater sense of well-being and fulfillment. Creating boundaries that are right for you can be a powerful act of self-care. Here are 5 simple yet clear steps to help you establish boundaries that make you feel safe and free. Tip number 1, identify your needs. Take some time to reflect on what you need to feel safe, respected, and valued. What are your non-negotiables? What drains your energy? Understanding your needs is the first step to setting effective boundaries. Tip number 2, communicate clearly. Be clear and direct when communicating your boundaries to others. You don't need to justify or apologize for your needs. Simply state them in a calm and assertive manner. Tip number 3, start small. Begin with small boundaries that are easier to enforce. This could be setting limits on your availability, declining certain requests, or taking time for yourself each day. As you become more comfortable, you can gradually set more significant boundaries. Tip number 4, stay consistent. Consistency is key to maintaining boundaries. It's important to enforce your boundaries regularly and not waver under pressure. Remember, you are protecting your well-being. Tip number 5, practice self-compassion. Setting boundaries can be challenging, and it's normal to feel guilty or uncomfortable at first. Be kind to yourself during this process. Recognize that you are taking steps to improve your life and well-being. Let's look at some real-life examples of how boundaries can transform your life. Consider the story of a woman who struggled with saying no at work, always taking on extra tasks and working late hours. She was constantly stressed and on the brink of burnout. Finally, she decided to set a boundary by leaving work on time and not taking on additional tasks unless they were part of her job description. This simple boundary helped her reclaim her evenings, reduce stress, and improve her overall well-being. Another example is a person who sets boundaries in their personal relationships. They had a friend who often made hurtful comments and disregarded their feelings. By setting a boundary and communicating their need for respectful and supportive interactions, they were able to either improve the friendship or distance themselves from the negativity. This boundary allowed them to cultivate healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Today, we've explored the power of courageous boundaries and how they can empower self-protection. We've discussed my journey of setting boundaries, the benefits they bring to the healing process, and practical steps to help you create boundaries that make you feel safe and free. Remember, setting boundaries is not just about saying no. It's about saying yes to yourself and your well-being. By prioritizing your needs and protecting your energy, you can create a life that feels balanced, fulfilling, and true to who you are. Embrace the power of boundaries and let them guide you on your journey to healing and empowerment. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you feel inspired to set boundaries that support your well-being and empower you to live your best life. Remember to keep believing in yourself and trusting your journey. If you found this episode empowering, please follow, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit from it. Together, we can create a community of support and strength. Until next time, keep shining, keep striving, and remember, you are triumphant over trauma. This is Gina, signing off from Triumphant Over Trauma. Stay strong and remember, you have the power to create the life that you deserve. Thank you for tuning in to Triumphant Over Trauma, where resilience prevails and women rewrite their stories of victory after trauma. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. Keep embracing your strength, cultivating resilience, and shining your light bright. You are capable of triumphing over any challenge life throws your way. Until next time, keep rising and thriving. You've got this.